This is the plaintiff, Kevin Gamach. He says he's been a memorabilia collector for 25 years and was scammed by the defendant into believing he was buying authentic original Transformers from the 80s. What he got instead were fakes. The scammer knowingly sold him 19 phonies. He wants his $5,500 back. That's why he's suing. This is the defendant, Teddy Lee Shibley. He says the plaintiff came to his house and looked through all 60 of his Transformers for over 3 hours, researching them online before he made the purchase. A few days later, he gets a call demanding a refund. Hey, this isn't Walmart. The guy made a purchase after investigating his merchandise, and all sales are final. Now he's been accused of taking advantage of deaf people, and he's highly insulted by that, because he's deaf in one ear himself. He's accused of a Megatron lawsuit.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Kevin Gamach and Tom O'Grady, and you have power of attorney for Tom. You are suing Teddy Lee Shibley for $5,500 that you say you are out as a result of what you say is a fraudulent sale. We have our ASL interpreter here for you, and you tell me that you're hard of hearing in one ear, so if I'm speaking to...
I'm trying to watch the lips, too.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you have any difficulty that you need me to accommodate, let me know. If you need me to go closer to you so that you can read my lips, if you need yourself to come closer to me, we'll figure it out. We're gonna get through this just fine.
Okay,
all right.
great.
Mr. Gamach, let me start with you. What happened here?
Hello, Your Honor. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my case. Myself and my partner, Tom, the two of us have a business together. And we've been doing this for 25 years. We collect comics, sell and resell. He's specialized in arcade, and we wanted to expand and do more business with toys. So we looked and looked, and finally we found these toys through Teddy. So we had a meeting and we would discuss through all the inventory, and I wanted to emphasize and make sure that everything was what it was. We didn't want anything fake or reproduced. We wanted everything to be real, and he agreed, so we went with that.
Okay, so hold on one second for me. When you say you wanted everything to be real and not fake, we are talking about real Transformer toys? And what does real versus fake mean?
All right, so a real toy means it was produced back in the 80s, in the time when it was popular. That's when it started. Fake, there's two different fakes. So there's one, in China, they reproduce the same models. And then they have another kind called counterfeit. And that's what we have here.
Well, what is counterfeit?
So the reproduce was made in China with their brand. Counterfeit shows nothing. There's no trademark, there's no company, assigned to it.
Okay. So when you went to the defendant, do you tell him I only want original production? And you do not deny that,
Yes.
right? You say that's what they told you, that they wanted original production only.
Yeah, later after about 2 hours into it.
Okay.
Because they already had about 35 set aside on my couches. And then they said they didn't want no reproduction. So me, him, and Tom, all three of us pulled the reproductions out, left them about 15.
And
Okay.
so on your couch were real ones and reproductions.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Are reproductions fake?
It depends. They were originally made in 1990, and they were from the 80s and 90s because the line went all the way up to the 90s. And the reproduction Just Chinese did come out with the later version in the year 2012, 13, 14.
Okay, but did the legit? Well, who made that toy? Hasbro, Mattel? Who made it?
Takara and Hasbro.
Okay. Did they ever give like a second issue of toys in later years?
They sold it. Yeah, they sold it later on down the road to the Chinese.
And people don't want that. They want the original.
Correct,
80s?
yes.
Okay. So there are
Right.
reproductions that are completely legitimate. It's just that they're not as worth as much because they're a later run.
Yes.
They're not even reproductions. They're the real toy,
They're a real toy, yes.
but from a later time.
Correct, yes.
Okay. What is it that you had that you pulled off the couch when they said that? Were they Chinese produced?
They were Chinese, yes.
Why do you have those at all if you're a collector?
Well, because I've been collecting I've been collecting for about 20 years. So, and I collect them, I just buy them as I go along.
So sometimes you get nailed?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so it's not like, there's not a market for the Chinese reproduction.
There is a market for them.
There is a market for it.
Yes. It's
So-
not a high market.
Okay. For my purposes, let's call the 1990 stuff second runs.
Okay,
So
yes,
that
ma'am.
I don't get confused.
Okay.
All right. So they end up spending $5,000. Is there any paperwork from this transaction?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you spend the money. Clearly, the agreement between the two of you is that you're only going to get first run 1980s Transformers.
Correct.
And you spend $5,000 to do that. After you get home, several days later, almost a week later, I see from the texts that were introduced into evidence that you folks feel that you have found a toy that is not legitimate, that it is either a knockoff or a second run. Which was it?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So remember Transformers from the 80s?
Of course I do.
Okay. Are they cool? Looking back, or are they lame?
Lame.
What do you say?
Because they were, the guys that played with them were sort of,
You know what?
kind of dorky.
Anybody remember Transformers? Oh, you guys are too young. Do you guys know what a Transformer is from the 80s?
No.
You know?
No.
You know?
Can't say I do.
Man, I am so old. Going inside the courtroom.
So we brought them home. And I told my business partner, let's go through it more, let's inspect. And we found that only 5 of them were original real productions.
Right, but
These are not originals.
You're the same guys that thought you were buying originals at his house. He says they are originals.
Correct.
So I am,
And that's why I trusted him.
I understand. But how are you going to prove to me that they are not originals? By the way, I want you to do something for me before we do the next thing. I want you to take a moment and look through all of those. Is this everything you bought?
That's every single thing, yes.
Okay. I want you to take a moment. Come on over here and take a look at it and tell me if there's anything here that you think that it's not an original 1980s run Hasbro Transformer doll.
I can tell you the little carded ones are not
Pull them out.
Where do you
Any-
want to put them? Anywhere?
I want
to
to
keep
put it right
separate?
in front of me.
So these are not?
Anything that's not real, hand it over to me.
I'm just step on this side. Fine. It's good.
Yeah, Your Honor, almost all of them are fake.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. For real?
Yes, ma'am. The only ones that are original is this one, and this one, and this one. All the rest are fake. Yes. And I only sold them one of each. So they have duplicates here, like this one and the one there, and of course you have 2 of the same ones up there. And they admitted I sold them one of each. Now they're coming up with 2 of each.
So you think these aren't the ones you sold them?
Correct. So I have no idea where you
Do
got.
you have paperwork from the sale?
No, ma'am.
How do I know that they only bought one of each from you? Go ahead and go back. Did you folks make any other purchases of Transformers from anybody else?
Nope, just Teddy.
Let's look at your theory for a moment. Your theory is that they bought real ones from you, bought fake ones from someone else, and then are setting you up, and then are trying to return the fake ones to you, and then have not only filed a case that is completely fraudulent, but agreed to come on national television to litigate the case that's completely fraudulent,
Yeah.
and set you up.
Right.
That's your theory.
Yes.
I hear like a lot of wild things, but that's like, out there because it's not that I think it's beyond possible. I'm just saying that's a lot,
Okay.
That's a lot to turn around, and decide that I know the way we can make money. Instead of just buying and selling real toys, let's buy real toys from this guy, fake toys from that guy, go to the guy we like, And they obviously liked you. You guys kind of hit it off.
Right.
And then we'll frame him. It just,
Yeah.
I'm just not buying it. Bring everything over here that is fake. I think you already know which ones they are, Douglas. What's legitimate over there?
How about this one? Is this one legit or no?
Those are all real.
This is all real. Okay.
You want to return those too? Or you want to keep those?
I would like them all to just go back to him.
Yeah. I am going to order you to return the $5,000 that they spent on this transaction. My understanding is your lawsuit's for $5,500 because you also want money back for another transaction that Tom handled. And is Tom here? Tom is not here to testify. Do you have an affidavit from Tom regarding the original transaction?
No.
Okay, so I can't handle that on a pure hearsay basis. Verdict's for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Well, in effect, the judge rescinds the deal. The plaintiff's going to get all of his $5,000 back. Let me ask you, Mr. Shibley, what do you think happened?
Well, I don't know. He had me under the impression that he was a collector. And then when I got the claim, they told me now they're saying they were into it for 20, 25 years. And they're resellers. So obviously that tells you they're out buying. So
The bottom line is, how did so many fakes get in there?
I'm believing they swapped it out.
Well, it's a
That's all I
mystery.
could
It's a
say.
big mystery.
It is.
All right.
is.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, the plaintiff, Mr. Gamache, has gone his way out of the courtroom. Congratulations. This is going to be interesting because he's watching the interpreter behind me. How do you feel about the outcome of this case?
I'm actually happy that the judge connected with all the evidence that I presented.
Well, congratulations and good luck. Are you going to continue to collect these toys?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And we're definitely learning from this.
Good lesson for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You must sign a few documents, and that will bring a thank you very much, very interesting case that we don't see very frequently here in the People's Court to a close.
Okay, I mean, look, Doug, this is really a good example. When you buy something and it's supposed to be original, pristine, whatever, get it in writing, even an email. But that's the only way you're going to have proof if there's a dispute down the road. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.